Hey guys, welcome to Bad Astronaut. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Tom.
And we've just been down to RTX Sydney. We've had a great time, we saw some really cool things and got to play some really amazing games.
So we got to play the Nintendo Switch, which was fantastic. We got to play some wonderful indie developed titles, which we'll go into detail later. And of course we got to see Hideo Kojima, which it's amazing, mind-blowing.
That's right, Rooster Teeth managed to fly the man himself down, Hideo Kojima, and he delivered an incredible panel called The Definitive Interview. We learned all kinds of things about the development of his upcoming game Death Stranding, and he even answered some questions about the past.
But first we're going to kick off with our thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. They had a wonderful booth where they had a circular area for 1-2 Switch. They also brought in ARMS, Mario Kart, a separate section for Legend of Zelda, as well as Ultra Street Fighter 2.
Throughout all of the experiences, Tom and I had a friendly rivalry going where we got to constantly compete using the minigames, which was incredible fun for 1-2 Switch especially.
Some of our favorites from 1-2 Switch was the Cowboy Shootout, which I clearly won that one. But the Samurai Chaining, Jordan being the Grandmaster, as he is, cut me down the middle multiple times. Another really cool one I liked was Safecracker. It really showed off what the Joy-Cons can do, as well as one game where you had to guess how many balls were in a box. Really showed off what the HD Rumble's all about. You can feel all the balls in the Joy-Con, which was, to me, mind-blowing, because when I heard of HD Rumble, I didn't think of it too much, and that just shows off what it can do. It'll be interesting to see what they can use that for in games rather than just a sort of mini game.
That's right, the 4D rumble effects are not exaggerated. They're actually really fantastic. There's a lot to this Nintendo Switch. They're tiny controllers, but they can do so much, and you have so many options with the IR sensor, among other things. We're really excited for March the 3rd. We think it's going to be a really great, exciting time for Nintendo fans and gamers alike. Needs a bit more content, so we need a few more than just the 1-2 Switch and the Zelda launch titles, but we're definitely going to get there. I could see a lot of potential with this upcoming system, and we're really excited.
Moving on, we're going to talk about many of the panels that were held at RTX. Probably the fans' favorite was Hideo Kojima's definitive interview.
Hideo Kojima.
We sat at the back. We didn't get the best spot in line, but you could feel the electricity of excitement in the air for everyone to see one of their most favorite game developers essentially have a chat. For me, it was really great to see a developer of such magnitude really take a humble approach. One line that really resonated with me was, he said, "Don't think about me, think about the things I've created." To him, he's just a regular guy, which I thought was a really, really cool approach.
A lot of the panels had some of Rooster Teeth's best guests come along. We had Greg Miller from the Kinda Funny group. We also had people like Funhouse coming along for a bit of fun, and they all got up to all kinds of hijinks on stage, both in the main center stage and in the two other theaters that were available to con-goers. Now, while we didn't get much of a chance to be around for many of the panels, we were occasionally popping our heads in and watching all the frivolity. People in the crowds absolutely loved it. They were going crazy, they were clapping, they were laughing, they were smiling. It was a really good vibe. So if you're a big Rooster Teeth fan, RTX is the place to go because you get to see all your favorites interacting like they're just having a great time. The one downside to all the panels that occurred on the center stage was that you're kind of standing there on concrete for a good hour, maybe 2 hours at times, which got pretty painful. In the future, Rooster Teeth could consider laying down lots of rubber mats or something that just makes that waiting, a little more comfortable for you. Because there's incredible stuff going on stage, but when your feet are starting to really hurt, it's not great.
With day 2, our focus was mainly to get our hands on Australian indie titles. We got to play all different kinds of games while we're there. We got to play VR games, we got to play handhelds, we got to play console games, and we also got to play PC games. It's really nice to see that the Australian game scene isn't just focusing on one platform. We're getting into all sorts of work. We got to see a lot of HTC vibes while we're down there, which is really exciting to see that platform is getting a lot more attention to it. It's really encouraging to see Australian developers jumping on that and wanting to make more content, make more stuff for us to immerse ourselves in.
So one of our favourite little games we played was from Sydney studio SNG Studios. It was called Death Squared. This game was really exciting and cooperative up to 4 players. We had some 2-player goes and we were really scratching our head with some of the logic puzzles that existed within. It's coming out in the next 4 to 5 weeks, so keep your eye on that one. It's going to be $26 on most platforms, and we're really, really keen to see what kind of reception this game receives, because it's got a lot of charm, it's really quick, and it's really, really clever.
Another great game that we played was Framed 2. It is a game that's being developed for iDevices and an iOS system. And it's got a really unique design to it where essentially you're reading through a comic book, but you yourself get to adjust the frames. And it makes for a really interesting platform to bring forth puzzles. You play as a spy through it, and you're trying to get through the levels without being spotted by police or enemy spies and that sort of stuff. Frame 2 is getting developed by Love Shack Games, and we highly recommend it here at Bad Astronaut.
Now, the best game that we played down at RTX was actually a Brisbane developed title called Think of the Children. What really excited us about this game was we got to actually have an extensive conversation with the developer Adric Polkinghorn, who's a Brisbane-based guy. The game was originally conceptualized over a 48-hour game jam that happened, and it's all about saving kids from peril. It's described as like a parenting simulator where players take the role of an adult and they try and look after a group of kids as they run around desperately trying to kill themselves. Things like a standard trip to the park or the beach could result in kids drowning, being hit by cars, or catching on fire on a barbecue. It's pretty hilarious stuff, and it's really, really well tempered. Something like killing kids could be very, very easily overdone and made too dark, but this kind of cartoony style really lends itself to the concept, and it doesn't go too far into that dark territory.
So I got to sit down and play it with a random patron of RTX, and we only got to play a 2-player mode of it. I believe you can have up to 4 players. The game was challenging, but the controls were quite intuitive. I picked it up and I instantly felt like I knew what I was doing. There was little things I found where if you spun your character around and pressed interact while you picked up a kid, you could actually hammer throw him even further out of danger. But if you threw him too far, you might end up throwing him into oncoming traffic. Things that were absolutely ludicrous that wouldn't happen in the real world, but happened in this game, and that's what we had to save the children from, which was really cool.
Talking to Adric was really fun because we learned that when the game fully releases, it's only going to be about $10, and that's going to feature both a multiplayer carnage mode and also like a campaign mode that you can play all the way through with your friends. Couch co-op is something that's really been lacking recently. We haven't seen a lot of it on current gen consoles. Whenever a developer really latches onto it and develops a cool original concept like Overcooked, we love it. And we're really looking forward to playing that at the Bad Astronaut offices.
Also, another really encouraging factor, especially for Brisbane-based game designs, when talking to Adric, we were like, oh yeah, where's your studio based? And they're just working out of home, which I think is a real encouragement boost to most Brisbane-based developers, where they can see this game being taken over to places like PAX East and RTX, and it's just some guys working from home.
So those were the indie games that we saw and really loved at RTX this year. Highly recommend Death Squared, Frame 2, and of course Think of the Children. Keep an eye on those and monitor social networks for when they do come out. But overall, RTX had some really great things on show, some really humble people happily showing off their wares. When you get a chance, do check those games out and don't forget to keep supporting Australian developers.
So now it's time for our overall thoughts of the expo. It was really cool to see a place where so many like-minded people could get together and have a good time. I feel that the overall behavior from everyone was really nice, calm, and tempered, which I think is really refreshing. There was also a lot of really cool cosplays out there. I'm an Overwatch man myself, and I think I saw about 5 different ones. My favorite probably being the Thunderbird Farah. Overall, it was a great atmosphere for Rooster Teeth fans, and you could see everyone having fun with themselves. There wasn't really a time where I looked around and I saw someone just having a grumpy look in their face, which was a really encouraging thing to see.
It was only 2 days, which I think was the perfect amount of time. They could have used a little bit more content to give to show owners, because by the end of the second day, people were just kind of sitting around waiting. But they were still happy to do that, because it was, like Tom said, a very enjoyable atmosphere. A lot of really happy people seeing the things they loved and getting to witness the people they love. As just casual Rooster Teeth fans, there's not necessarily a great deal that's going to bring us back next year. However, draws like Hideo Kojima and the Nintendo Switch are incredible, just for even gamers, just for members of the public. It's also a great way that Rooster Teeth could expand and get more people to come along and check out their brand. And so kudos to them, they've done a great job.
Thanks for tuning in to our recap of RTX Sydney 2017. If you went, or even if you didn't, please share your thoughts below. I'm Tom from Bad Astronaut.
And I'm Jordan, thank you so much for tuning in.